Good morning, students. Last class we discussed the key group elements, important compounds of boron in group 13. Now we are going to complete the remaining part of group 13 elements. Next important compound for the group 13 is, last class we discussed diborane, their preparation properties and structure. Now the next important compound for the boron compounds is borax. Borax. Borax, its formula is Na2B4O7.10H2O. Borax is also another name is called as Tincal. Tincal. Another name for the borax is Suhaga. Another name for the borax is Tincal or Suhaga. The common name is borax. Borax is soluble in hot water. Na2B4O7, 5 water molecules. This name is called as Jeweller's borax or octahedral borax. Octahedral borax. Jeweler borax or octahedral borax. See how to prepare this borax preparation. Very simple method of preparation for the borax. From boric acid. From boric acid or orthoboric acid. Boric acid H3BO3 on a reaction with sodium carbonate Na2CO3. It can give N-hydrous borax Na2B4O7. So 4 borines we need 4 moles and remaining is 6 moles of water and the remaining is carbon dioxide. Simple method of preparation of borax is from boric acid. Boric acid on reaction with sodium carbonate to get the borax. And second method of preparation for the borax is from polymenite. From the ore polymenite. So polymenite formula Ca3B6O11. This is on further reaction with sodium carbonate Na2CO3. It can give our borax Na2B4O7 plus calcium carbonate plus sodium metaborate NaBO2. So already we know this is soluble in hot water. It is soluble in hot water, and these two are insoluble in water. Insoluble in water. So we can filter our compound, required compound, that filtrate extract containing sodium carbonate. Then we can crystallize. We can get our borax. Now NaBO2 on reaction with carbon dioxide to get Na2B4O7. NaBO2 sodium metaborate on reaction with carbon dioxide. It is also converted into our borax. These are the two important methods of preparation of borax and properties of borax. Borax is a crystalline, white crystalline solid. It's a white crystalline solid a white crystalline solid, and it is a salt of and it is a salt of sodium. We are having a strong base and weak acid. It's a salt of strong base and weak acid. Whenever it is soluble in hot water, so we know it is soluble in hot water. Soluble in hot water, then the nature of this salt is alkaline nature. So it can give the alkaline solution. So Na2B4O7 reaction with hot water to give the alkaline nature, that's base NaOH plus H3BO. So top we are what we are discussing the same manner. It is a salt of strong acid and weak base. So we are getting this is a strong base, sodium hydroxide, and orthoboric acid. It's a weak acid. Borax is a salt of strong base and weak acid, and it can react with mineral acids. A reaction with mineral acids. So mineral acids means like HCl and H2SO4, which can give the hydrogens. Those are called as mineral acids. Then it can give the disconvert into corresponding salt and orthoboric acid. Sodium, borax on reaction with mineral acids like HCl, it can give salt NaCl plus H3BO3, orthoboric acid it can give. Reaction with ammonium chloride. Action with ammonium chloride. So borax on reaction with ammonium chloride, Na2B4O7, reaction with ammonium chloride. So it can give boron nitride plus salt NaCl plus B2O3, our previous compound, boron oxide, and lot of water it can release. Most important reaction regarding the borax is borax bed test. Borax bed test. So what is this borax bed test means? So you want to identify the D block metals, the given salt containing D block metals. You want to identify the given salt containing our D block metals. So we have to use the borax bed test. So in this borax bed test we are seeing borax on strong heating. First we can lose the water, and further it is heating, it can convert into transparent liquid Na2B4O7 dot 10H2O. On strong heating we can get Na2B4O7 anhydrous. Again this is on strong heating it can get a transparent liquid. Transparent liquid. This is this transparent liquid we can cool. We can get a solid like glass. It's a transparent solid. This a transparent solid is called as borax bed. It is a borax bed. This borax bed This is it is used for the test for the identification in the laboratory for the transition metals, that is our D block metals. So this borax bed on a reaction with, for example, cobalt oxide, the salt containing cobalt oxide, it can give the blue color flame, say blue colored bed, that is the formation of cobalt metaborate. If it is copper, for suppose I am taking the copper oxides and copper, it can give the red color bed, that is copper metaborates UbO2. Borax bed test is a very important test for the identification of D block transition elements in the given compound. Structure of borax is also very important. Structure of borax. Borax formula is Na2B4O7.NH2O. So it's a borax containing, there are 2 trigonal planar and 2 tetrahedral units. It contains 2 tetrahedral and 2 trigonal units. So trigonal units means the hybridization is sp2, tetrahedral units means the hybridization of the molecule is sp3. The exact formula we can write in the form of complex of the borax is Na2B4O5OH 4 times dot H2O. This is the exact formula we have to write for the borax. Now see the structure of the borax, that is this one we can decompose this into ions, so it can give the 2 moles of Na plus and the remaining complex, entire complex is total 1 ion B4O5OH 4 times power 2 minus plus 8H2O. Its name is called as tetraborate ion. See the structure of tetraborate ions. So tetraborates, we have to write the 4 borons. So boron, oxygen, boron, oxygen, boron, oxygen, like this. On bridge there is another oxygen, and the negative charge, the 2 negative charges we are having, that is for the 2 borons. Remaining is 4 OH groups are there. So tetraborate ion, tetra means 4, each boron having the, previous class we are seeing maximum covalency of the boron is 4. Here see 2 borons can show the 4 bonds and remaining 2 borons can show the 3 bonds. So 2 are in tetrahedral shape and 2 are in trigonal planar shape. So this boron and this boron is trigonal shape. This is sp2 hybridization and sp2 hybridization, and 2 borons are tetrahedral shapes, that is sp3 and sp3 hybridization. This is the regarding the borax. Next, another important compound for us for the group 13 elements is boric acid. Or we can write orthoboric acid. Both are same only, boric acid or orthoboric acid. So orthoboric acid formula previously already we told you that H3BO3, it is acid, but in the examination for the getting confused, they are giving like this also, OBH thrice. It's not a base, it's an orthoboric acid. So how to prepare this orthoboric acid? From the previous preparations, while you are preparing the, while you are writing some chemical properties of borax near to B4O7, on hydrolysis or reaction with HCl and water, you can give NaCl plus H3BO3 orthoboric acid. And from colemanite also we can see the previous equation from colemanite, Ca2B6O11 on reaction with 4 moles of SO2 and water, we can get orthoboric acid H3BO3 and calcium hydrogen sulfide HSO3 twice. The best method for the preparation of boric acid is BCl3 on direct hydrolysis to get orthoboric acid. The easiest method and the best method for the preparation of orthoboric acid is H3BO3. From previous we are seeing diborane on hydrolysis also we can get orthoboric acid H3BO3 and 3 moles of hydrogen. So all these methods of preparations of orthoboric acid previously we are seeing in the from the previous compounds. Now see the properties of orthoboric acid or simply boric acid. It's a white crystalline solid. It's a white crystalline solid and soapy to touch. It is soapy to touch. Generally bases are generally soapy to touch, but here the especially special property for the orthoboric acid is acid is soapy to touch, and it is sparingly soluble in normal water and highly soluble in hot water. Hot water soluble. Hot water soluble. And boric acid is soluble in HF also due to the formation of fluoroboric acid. Boric acid BOH thrice. It is soluble in hydrofluoric acid also, and it can form hydrogen fluoroborate HbF4. H is plus and BF4 is minus, and lots of water. If the boric acid H3BO3 on strong heating, we can lose the water molecule, we can get HbO2. So name of this compound is metaboric acid. Metaboric acid. On this metaboric acid, on further heat, we can take 2 moles and again we can lose the water molecule. Tetraboric acid. Tetraboric acid. Tetraboric acid. That is H2B4O7. Again further we can heat this one. Finally we can get the boron oxide is B2O3. Otherwise direct from here to here also, by heating, by loss of water molecule, 2 loss, you can get directly B2O3. Boric acid, so it is an acid, it is not a protic acid. Generally boric acid is it's not a protic acid, it is a Lewis acid. Boric acid H3BO3, while we are looking H3BO3, we can feel it is a protic acid, but it is not a protic acid. So it is a Lewis acid. So what is meant by Lewis acid means electron pair acceptor. It is not ready to donate it is not ready to give the H plus ions. It's not a protic acid, it's a Lewis acid. So whenever it is Lewis acid, so I am going to give the reaction with the base. So we know the reactions, acids and bases together, salt and water, sodium metaborate, NaB, O2 and water. Otherwise we can write like this also, sodium BOH 4 times. So orthoboric acid is a very weak acid. Structure of orthoboric acid. Structure of orthoboric acid. Structure of orthoboric acid, H3BO3. In solid state it can form the two-dimensional, in solid state it can form hydrogen bond. It can form hydrogen bond. Due to the hydrogen bond only it can, due to the hydrogen bonding, so it is a strong solid. Boron BOH, BOH, BOH. So hydrogen bond means the bond between the hydrogen and the most electronegative of the another molecule. So another orthoboric acid I am taking, BOH, that is strong hydrogen bonding. BOH, that is a strong hydrogen bonding. BOH, that is a strong hydrogen bonding. So hydrogen of one boric acid containing hydrogen of one boric acid and most electronegative element of another boric acid, we can get the hydrogen bond like this. So in this hydrogen bond, due to the formation of hydrogen bonding, it is having the hexagonal rings. Hexagonal rings. And these hexagonal rings, each hexagonal ring can form the 6 hydrogen bonds. So it can form the 6 hydrogen bonds with each hexagonal ring. This is about the regarding the boric acid. Now the second most important compound for the group 13 elements is aluminum. Most important, and already we know this is the most abundant, third most abundant element in the earth crust. So the ore names are minerals. Ores are minerals, whatever it is available in our earth crust. Starting I told you already, corundum formula is Al2O3 without no water molecule. Diaspore, that is aluminum oxide dot H2O. Bauxite, Al2O3 dot 2H2O. Gibbsite, this Al2O3 dot 3H2O. Most available mineral in our earth crust. Most important, best mineral for the preparation of aluminum is bauxite. That is the best ore for the aluminum. Cryolite, that is Na3Al(F6). Feldspar, that is potassium aluminum silicate, Si3O8. So generally how we can extraction of aluminum? The simple method we can say how to extract aluminum. extraction of aluminum. First I am taking first one, step 1. We have to do the concentration of ore. Concentration of ore. What is the meaning of concentration of ore? Means I am taking the best mineral of aluminum, that is bauxite. Bauxite we are purifying. Bauxite containing iron as impurity, so that is called as red bauxite. Bauxite again two types, red bauxite and white bauxite. Red bauxite means if iron is impurity, that is red bauxite. If sand is impurity, that is white bauxite. So red bauxite can be purified. Bauxite I am taken. Bauxite is the best mineral for the extraction of aluminum. Bauxite we can say one is red color, is also another one is also white color. Why it can say the red bauxite means here impurity is in our aluminum, impurity is iron, we can say that is called as red bauxite. Why we can say that is white bauxite means the impurity is sand. If the sand is impurity, simply we can say sand like colorless, so that is white bauxite. Iron is looking like red color, so that is the red bauxite. But the methods for the extraction of aluminum for the red bauxite is, there are two processes we are having, that is Bayer's process. Bayer's process, and second one is, this one is Hall's process. Hall's process. By using these two processes we can concentrate the ore, and white bauxite can be purified by the two processes we are having, that is Serpak's process and second one is Hall-Hérold's process. Hall-Hérold's process. So in the first step, first of all we are giving to concentration of ore. So by the concentration of ore we are doing the different process by the concentration of the ore. Then step 2. So in this step 2 we are doing the electrolytic reduction. We are going for the electrolytic reduction. By the electrolytic reduction we can get molten Al2O3. So molten Al2O3 is having the highest melting and boiling points. So decrease the melting point of molten Al2O3. We are adding another one is alumina. Plus fluorospar. Fluorospar is Na2. Fluorospar formula KAlSi3O8. Why you are using the fluorospar, the molten alumina, is because of it is having the high melting and boiling points. So reduction is very difficult process. To reduce the melting point we are using the small amount of alumina and fluorospar. And step 3. So name itself, it is a reduction. Reduction means Al2O3 becomes Al. It is the impure. Removal of oxygen, that is called as reduction. So aluminum oxide becomes aluminium. We are getting the impure aluminium. In step 3 we have to purify the aluminium. The best method for the purification process is called as refining. Refining of aluminium. Aluminium can be refined by the best process is Hobbs process. By using this process we can refining the metal of aluminium. The aluminium is a very soft metal, we can mold into different shapes. And aluminium reaction with air, see the some physical and chemical properties of aluminum. Aluminum is a silvery white solid, and it is a good conductor of electricity. Nowadays we are using all electricity due to because of aluminum wires. See the chemical properties of aluminum. Chemical properties of aluminum. So reaction with air. First one is a reaction with air. In general properties, already we completed the reaction with air for the bromine, boron and aluminum. Boron reaction with oxygen to form corresponding oxide. Same boron reaction with nitrogen to form the corresponding nitrate. Same like that, aluminum on reaction with oxygen to form the corresponding oxide, that is Al2O3. The same aluminum, air means air containing most of the percentage is nitrogen and oxygen. So aluminum reaction with nitrogen to form aluminum nitrate AlN. Second is action with water. Action with water. Aluminum is a metal. Aluminum is a metal. Metal reactions with water to liberate hydrogen gas. Otherwise, metals reaction with water to form the corresponding hydroxides, aluminum hydroxide, and liberate hydrogen gas. Metal reaction with acids or metal reaction with water to liberate the hydrogen gases. Third one, action with acids. Action with acids. So aluminum reaction with acid to give the corresponding salts. For suppose aluminum on reaction with concentration HCl, concentrated HCl to liberate AlCl3 plus hydrogen gas. So metals on reaction with acids to liberate hydrogen gas we know. So aluminum on reaction with dilute sulfuric acid give aluminum sulfate Al2SO4 thrice plus hydrogen gas. Aluminum reaction with, especially aluminum reaction with HNO3 nitric acid, and it is slowly oxidized. HNO3 is the best oxidizing agent, so it will be slowly oxidizes into aluminum nitrate AlNO3 thrice, and it can form ammonium nitrate also, NH4NO3, the most important explosive component, ammonium nitrate, liberate water. So recently we are seeing aluminum on reaction with bases. Action with bases. Fourth one is action with bases. Previously we told you that on reaction with acid also, on reaction with base also, it can give liberate the hydrogen gas. Sodium meta-aluminate, NaAlO2, and liberate hydrogen gas. This is on dilute condition. If it is on aluminum on reaction with sodium hydroxide on concentrated condition, we can get NaAlO2 is sodium meta-aluminate, and Na3AlO3 is sodium aluminate, and liberate hydrogen gas as usual. A reaction with halogen to give the corresponding halides, reaction with nitrogen to give the corresponding nitrides, and reaction with the aluminum is the most reactive metal, so it can exchange the metal oxides, so it is the best reducing capacity. So reduction reaction. So for example, I am taking D black element oxide like iron oxide Fe2O3, and I am adding aluminum. That iron is replaced by the aluminum and becomes Al2O3 plus iron. So it is used as the best reducing agent for the replacement of oxygen from the metal oxides like iron, manganese, manganese oxide MnO2 on reaction with aluminium, it is the corresponding oxide Al2O3 plus manganese. Chromium oxide Cr2O3 on reaction with aluminium, is the corresponding Al2O3 plus Cr, like this. So the properties we have to discuss. It is used as a reducing agent, reaction with water, reaction with acids, reaction with bases, reaction with air, like this. The most important thing is aluminium is used as a double salt. Aluminium is used in a double salts. Double salts. The few examples for the double salt is potash alum. Potash alum. Potash alum formula is potassium sulfate AgSO4, aluminum sulfate Al2SO4 thrice, double salt, potassium sulfate and aluminum sulfate combination, that is called as potash alum. So alums we are using for the purification of waters and the clotting of the blood clotting while you are cutting with the knife. So immediately you have to clot the blood. We are using the double salts. This is the most important compound of aluminium. Aluminium important compounds, we don't have any other important compounds for the aluminium. We are having only regarding aluminium, aluminium purification and some properties of aluminium. This is the group 13 elements we completed. So uses of aluminium and all you have to see in the book and see the what are the uses for the aluminium. Okay, thank you students.